What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got some tag action for you guys, and this is one of the coolest OTKs you will ever see in your entire life. My homeboy Mr. Toby sent me this one. I don't generally do a lot of tag duels on this channel for a couple of reasons, but this is definitely worthy of you guys watching this, and it really showcases why Konami needs to get these damn outer entities and elder entity cards in the TCG. We have some of them. Obviously, we have like Norden, probably the greatest fusion card ever released, but there are some other ones, guys, Synchro, Xyz, and Fusion, and they are amazing cards, and when you see the combos that you can do with them, they're actually pretty damn disgusting. I actually remember Performages and Pals in the OCG, it was so strong of a deck because they had a lot of cards that we just didn't have in the TCG, so you guys are going to see some nutty plays here. And before I jump into that, there's a couple of reasons why I don't do a lot of tag duels on this channel. The first being, sometimes tag duels tend to have one player who's kind of behind everybody else. Either he breaks, or that person, like, she just gets her field blown out and they're never able to recover, and I don't find that to be very entertaining. And second, tag duels just a lot of times tend to just drag on forever. Like, they don't get to a satisfying conclusion for like 20 minutes, and I'm just like, ugh, get out of this, you know what I mean? Give me a winner already. Tag duels are very, very fun to play in, but not necessarily to watch. This one is an exception. Now, he didn't open with the greatest hand of just the, Superbia, not like the greatest OP hand, but he's gonna make some legitimate plays here. Got the sea monster of Theseus, and then he's going to go for the Ultimate Zokin, which gets him a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So we got a little back and forth. Now you guys are going to see how he's going to answer that. Obviously, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is not something you want to ignore, and he is going to go for the Vortex Dragon. Crystal Wing is going to have to negate that, because if it didn't, Vortex Dragon just would have used its ability to basically just bounce it, so Crystal Wing would have died for free. So he is kind of forced to use the Crystal Wing negate here, which is unfortunate for him. Bust out the Toon Magician, one of my favorite cards, and then he's actually going to synchro for Supreme King Dragon. That's Clear Wing, which is basically like a Regeki in this situation. It blows up everything on the field, and it gets him a little bit of damage in, so he's looking not so bad. Now this is where things are going to get disgusting, and why you guys are just, you're gonna see an ultimate, like, amazing play. Now you look at this hand, it doesn't tell me it does not look like a jumbled mess. You got the Wing Dragon of Ra, you have like an Infernal Reckless Summon. You guys are looking at this hand and thinking, what the kappa? What is he going to do with this hand? How exactly is he gonna make it busted? All right, here we go. He makes the Shikinaga, and then he goes Plague Spreader Zombie. He got the Quilbolt Hedgehog from the graveyard. He dumped that as his Earth Monster for Shikinaga, and then he's going to use Infernal Reckless Summon. When you have 3 Quilbolt Hedgehog on the field, guys, you know shit's going to get real. Can you imagine getting OTK'd, and this is what's going to basically start the combo? Because that's what's going to happen in this duel. So first, he's going to summon the first entity. This is Old Entity Haster, and this is a really cool card because it's essentially a Fiendish Chain and a Snatch Steal built into one card. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can equip it to one of your opponent's monsters. That monster's effect is negated and it can't attack. So it basically becomes a Fiendish Chain, but then if it leaves the field as an equipped, it becomes a Snatch Steal and you actually just take their monster. So that's the first entity that you guys are going to see. He's going to do a little more Xyz playing, and then I believe he's going to go for Nethys. Yeah, he goes for Nethys, and Nethys is the other fusion, much like Norden. We don't have it in the TCG, and this baby is actually summoned by contact, so you don't even need polymerization and stuff like that. And when she goes to the graveyard, you can blow up a card on the field, and she can special summon a level 4, a lower monster from your hand. Now, since the since the Haster actually went to the field, it gets to equip itself to the dragon, so that's what's going to happen right here. So he's going to go Plague Spreader again. Quilbolt Hedgehog is going to go out again, and then he's going to synchro summon for Old Entity. Oh my goodness, the name of these, I think it's Chahuga. This card's effect is really not that important. It's just going to give an extra draw as he goes into Outer God Natharla. Again, these names are difficult to pronounce, so he gets an extra draw, and then he summons Azeroth. This is the card that was like ridiculous in Performages and Pals format in the OCG because it allows you to OTK. It can be summoned as long as you have like another outer god, or excuse me, another outer entity. Xyz, obviously he did, and It makes it so your opponent can no longer activate monster effects for monsters in their possession. So it's kind of like a Shockmaster in that sense, and it's really, really powerful. So he's not done yet, guys. He's actually going to normal summon Exodia. Then he's going to exceed, because he has you know, a couple of level 10s on the field, for Ravenous Tarantula. And then he actually fusion summons for Winda using Polymerization. We don't even need no Shadow fusions. He sends Dragon to the graveyard. He pops his own Haster, which means he gets the Snatch Steal effect. And he's ultimately able to steal the what's it called, the Servant Dragon Clear Wing, despite the fact that just a second ago it couldn't attack and it had its effect negated. But you know, it was basically like he was just kind of setting them up, and 16,000 life points are just not enough when you have a field like this. You know what's kind of funny? I believe he summoned every single entity card in the entire game except the one that's banned, which is Norden. Obviously, Norden is like the most popular of the entities, but I believe during this one turn, I believe he summoned every single entity, which I think there is 6 of them in the game, which means he must have summoned like 5 of them. So just a really cool OTK play. Obviously, this is not a play that you'd be banking, that you would like be banking that you'd get all the time, but it's still like a really cool play, and it's a super trolly deck. If you guys want to see the deck, I guess just let me know, and I'll just put it in the description of the video, and you guys can just come back like the next day or within a couple of hours, and I'll just add it to the video. But just some really cool plays. I hope these cards eventually do come to the TCG, especially like Azeroth, because I think they would add a lot of power to the game. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.